Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to have a go at taking our watch that we've modelled into Fusion and trying to get that ready to texture into Substance Painter. So to do that we need to have something called UVs, which is not something that you can do within Fusion 360, but we can do that in another Autodesk piece of software called Maya. So to prep for that, we've got our model set out and we've already got all our components named like that. So all we've got to then do is just go to File, Export, and then come and change this to FBX and click on Export. Once you've done that, you can jump over to Maya, go to File, Import, and then on my desktop I've got Watch. Click on OK. And there we go, so we've then got our watch in place like that. Okay, so a few things to note. One, the orientation has changed. Obviously it should be flat like that and it isn't, so if you want to change that you can just grab the whole thing, go to mesh, combine, and then E to rotate and bring it around. But actually I'm going to keep it how it is. I'm going to just mesh and separate that. So what we want to start to do is unwrap. So the whole point of unwrapping is that you want to essentially tell the software how you want the material to wrap around your object. So I'm just going to grab all those bodies. I'm going to go to UV and just come to delete UVs. It'll take a second. Okay, so then I'm going to get my UV and go to UV editor, bring it to the side a bit. I'm not going to do it all in the video because it takes a bit of time, not that interesting. It's just a bit long. It's not difficult, it just takes a bit of time. So I'm going to grab this one. Now normally if you've modeled something in Maya, I'd say you go camera based because then you can pick the seams that you want to go around. But because we've modeled it in Fusion, we've got a few like what's known as like topology issues, but there's still like a workaround for it. So what we can do, we get to create an automatic. And if I zoom out, you see what it's doing there is it's using these planes to try and like best guess how it would like to be unwrapped. So you end up with this thing here. So I'm just going to open it up. Now that on its own is okay, but if you want like good UVs, what you want to do is stitch them together. So I'm going to come over, right click, go to edge, and you come over and hover on the edge, and you'll see that what will happen is it highlights red where it's going to go. So I'm going to right click and go to cut and stitch together and work your way around, and essentially as you can see it starts to build up the actual net and what it would look like if you take that 3D object and try and turn it into a 2D shape. So you can grab multiple edges at the same time, just right click and keep working your way around. So we've probably got one more to do. Cut and sew, stitch together. So that one was quite an easy one. But you can get the idea of it's all one shape if possible. It's not always possible if you've got like little like divots or indents and that sort of thing. Well, that's essentially sort of the idea behind trying to unwrap. We'll do one more just to show you. So if I take like that one, go to create automatic, and then make that bigger again, and same sort of thing, come to edge, right click, cut and sew, stitch together, and you're just working your way around. If it goes wrong, Control Z just to undo it, because what you want to avoid is UVs like overlapping, and sometimes what will happen is it will go red if there's going to be an issue. But just keep working your way around, right click, cut and sew. You can do multiple edges at the same time, so I could grab like those two, right click, cut and sew, stitch together. Just slowly working your way around. Okay, and so there I've done one too many, so you see it's gone red because it's trying to like unwrap around itself. So I'm going to Control Z to undo. Move over to here. So not all of your UVs all have to be attached to everything. It just depends what the actual object is. So I would leave that as it is. So you got the vast majority of it is stitched together, and that is fine. What you are then looking for, if I come here and turn on the check marker, if you come in here, So you got these squares in here. If I then grab this one as well, you can see, because we've unwrapped that as well, is we are looking for the boxes essentially to be not distorted and to be the same sort of size. So I'm just going to come to UV here, select it all, and go to modify and layout. And here then you can see that they're the same size. So I won't unwrap the whole thing in this video because it'd be quite a long video, because I've already done it in preparation for the next part. But what you need to do is, like, for each part, work your way around. Once you've got it all unwrapped, right click, go to modify and layout, and then just check that all your boxes are the same sort of size. Okay, so what I've done now, as you can see, I've now unwrapped all my objects. If I get my UV editor up here, you come out, check them out, you can see those are all my parts. I've stitched quite a lot of them together. I'll then put my checker marker on, come out, and what you can see is on all these models, there's not any distortion to the squares, so they're all even squares, and then they're all the same sort of size. That means that when we start to actually add on materials, the scaling will be right for all different parts. So that is what you are aiming for. Like I say, it's not a massively difficult thing to do, just a bit time consuming. It's like the least fun part of 3D modelling and texturing, but it's not like necessary evil. Typically I just put some music on and I just like suck it up and get on with it, basically. Well, hopefully you found that useful. Any questions, please let me know.